Hey guys, welcome to Finish Awesome Friday from the home office today. Today I just want to go through part 3 of the 3-part videos on the best diet ever. So in video 1 we explained the negatives of a lot of diets and why there is no best diet for everyone, because there just can't be. People are all different and come from different backgrounds and different mentalities, so it just won't work. The second video we then discussed some of the good things about most diets that exist, and others that are to come, I'm sure, that are based off pretty much the same ideas. But generally speaking, you want to be eating more fruit and vegetables, eating more protein, drinking more water, and getting more sleep. Those sort of things are basically interbred into all those diets. And if you're doing those things, then really the other stuff is just minutiae. It's just the minors of the major sort of aspect of diet, which is eat better, drink more water, and sleep more. You can't really escape that whatever you do. So what I think is better, and what I believe is better in everything in life, is not to have a particular one diet or one training system, or one training program or one training style or method that is the best and that is how you train and eat for the rest of your life, but actually to work by systems and actually have a system that allows you to incorporate varieties of things. For example, use different dietary methods and things within a dietary system, and then it doesn't really matter. You're still sticking to the same principles, but allowing yourself to experiment and try things that may be better or worse for you. So the Efficient Nutrition System, what is it? It's basically a spreadsheet. And this spreadsheet is sort of your central hub to everything else you do. So I often get people to track calories, and that is an important thing. And I will release a video soon talking about calories and why I think tracking them is the most efficient way and the best way for most people to diet, in the long term. But for now, we'll just explain it from here. So what happens with the Efficient Nutrition System? You weigh yourself, you log that, and then basically from that weight, we can then work out how many calories you can eat, basically what your daily averages are and all the rest of it. And then you can log those weights, log those things in there, and as the weeks go on, as the months roll on, you'll have a nice systemized approach, and basically you should see trends in terms of weight loss, weight gain, or maintenance. Okay, so I'll try and explain and show you exactly what I mean from there. So this is sort of a blank sort of spreadsheet that we've got, which basically you will be sent. Okay, and that blank spreadsheet will look something like this. So you'll have your calorie tracker, you'll have the weight log, and you'll have a food list. Okay, so I'll even send you a food list of things that you should be mostly consuming and buying when you go shopping. But it's not the be all and end all, because as I say, this is fairly flexible in terms of what you decide to do. Simply what will happen is you'll weigh yourself a couple of times in the week. Now let's just say today I weighed myself in, which I did. My scale's reading kilos, but what we need is pounds really, just to work this out. It's easier to just multiply by pounds and get the certain calories that you do. So that's what I believe. Someone may argue the difference, but who cares? So I came out today at 90.5 kilos. So I would type in 90.5 kilos into my computer. I press return, and that gives me 199.1 pounds. So I basically round that to 199. That's just an easy way of doing it for me. So I've logged that now. So that's my weight, that particular date that I logged it into, and then that is complete. So from there, once I've done that, I then go into my calorie tracker, and I type that into my calorie tracker. So I put 199 into there, and that will give me a list here of all the times body weights from literally from times body weight times 8, up to body weight times 20. I go by times body weights because, again, it's simple, it's easy to follow. There's no magic about that calorie intakes or the calorie numbers that you get from the calorie trackers. Again, I'll explain this in future videos, but that is not a magic number. That is just a number to start from and to build from, okay? And then to see if you get your results. When you get those results that you want to see, you can then make changes, or not see, you can make your changes from there. You are your own science experiment, and unfortunately that is just the way it's going to have to be. You can't nail it in one particular foul swoop, and it's always going to work for you with one diet or one way of eating or one particular calorie intake. Is always going to change depending on what you're doing and how much of that you're doing. So how much exercise, how much food you're eating already, what sort of natural genetic metabolic rate you have, all those things play into account. So what we're going to get is a number, and those numbers then are things we can work from. So let's say, for example, I'm looking to lose some weight. So I've got basically a guide here from body weight 8 times 8 to body weight times 12. Generally, is going to be where most people are going to be starting to lose weight or get a good rapid weight loss. For males, it's normally going to be a little higher. For females, it's normally a little lower. An average is about body weight times 10. So So let's use that as our example. So my body weight times 10, which is just here, is 1,990, obviously, in terms of the weights, in terms of the calories, okay? But what I'm looking for is actually my weekly total calories. That's what we work from here in the efficient nutrition system, and I'll show you in a second why that's important. So you take that number, so 13,930. I'll pop it into here. I'm just going to round it down to 13,900 though, because for me it's easier if I round it down to whole numbers, and I take it from there. And that will give me a list over here. Okay, so this, I can get that right. There you go. So that is my list here. So that is what we're then going to work from. Okay, that is our log and everything else. So as you can see, we have calories, we have you know, the amount of calories you want to take in and everything else, but the most important numbers are actually up here. So you've got your daily average and you've got your weekly calorie intake. Okay, guys? So why does the efficient nutrition system work better than any other diet around? Okay, now it's not saying that it's the best diet ever. It still requires you to manually type things into a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet will then give you information back. Okay, but that is something that, you know, might be an extra hindrance to some people. So if you can't be bothered to type some keys and put some information into a spreadsheet, then this is certainly not going to be the dietary system for you. But for those that are still interested, what you'll notice will happen is when I start adding my calories in, magic things can happen from here. Now, life throws us curveballs, guys. And that is something that, you know, no matter how hard you try, if you're on a diet, you're going to make mistakes, you're going to slip up, you're going to have days where there's things going on and you just can't, you know, keep to your diet or keep to a stringent plan. So what the efficient nutrition system does is it will change to that lifestyle. Let's say, for example, on day one, I always start from a Saturday because I know the weekends are always going to be the higher calorie days. I just know it. There's no point trying to fight it. Instead, I embrace it and I start my week from Saturday. So I go out Saturday, I have a pretty normal day, but then in the evening comes and, you know, friends come around, we have a few drinks, we have something to eat, and I actually end up, instead of doing the 1,986 calories that I've been set, I end up doing 3,000 calories. You know, that's probably a pretty average day. In fact, you know, that's not even me on a very bad day, but 3,000 calories can easily be done with some alcohol, with some good food, and with some good company. So what happens when that happens is the number changed. Okay, from 1986, my daily average now is 1817. So what happens with the efficient nutrition system is it auto-regulates. If you have a bad day, rather than just throwing the towel in or trying to starve yourself another day, you don't have to. The efficient nutrition system tells you how much you need to change your daily calorie intake to still hit your goal, which is something that I think is pretty unique in terms of how you structure your day. You're not stuck with one particular calorie intake. You actually just go by your lifestyle and how it is. So the next day comes back, it's a Sunday, so maybe I have a roast and maybe I have a few beers down the pub with the parents-in-law because we're out with them, so that we have, you know, we have a few beers and then we have a Sunday roast, and that ends up being a 2,000 calorie day. And so the rest of the week, what happens? The rest of my calories, my daily average now is down to 1780. So you can see every day depends on the last. Now, I might be able to save some days back. I know that Tuesday maybe I can have a 1,500 calorie day, and maybe even Thursday, because I know that I can basically change my dinners around. I can have leaner dinners, and you know, I can on those days I don't train, so I can basically swindle it around so that the calories aren't going to be that high those days, and just stick to protein shakes and a bit of fruit through the day. Okay, bit of intermittent fasting. Okay, but a bit of pulse fasting there. So with that strategy, what I've actually done, if I can curve back on those 2 days, I've pulled my calorie intake back to 1,967. Okay, pretty much what it was at the start of the week before I had those 2 terrible days. So what the efficient nutrition system does is it works out your daily average from your weekly intake. Okay, you basically have a weekly total that you're aiming for, but depending on how good and bad you are through the week, those daily totals will change. It will auto-regulate to your daily dietary needs, because weight loss or weight gain isn't done on one day. Okay, so sticking by 1 day, you know, calorie intakes is pointless for most people. It's a good way if you can stick to it long term and do one set of calories all the way through the year, but for most people that is not a realistic goal. Okay, so what we do is we allow for that. We allow for life. We allow for, you know, parties and you know, splurges and mistakes in terms of eating the wrong things and eating too much of the wrong things. But all it asks for is a bit of payback for later on in the week. So basically, where you got to think about it is your weekly calories is your weekly wage. So I'm giving you, for example, on this one, I'm giving you £13,900 to spend, and then your spend each day depends. So if you spend high certain days, obviously you have to cut back on the other days. It's just life, okay? But life happens, and that is what the efficient nutrition system tries to do. So that is a brief explanation of it. And obviously with the weight logger as well, you've got a trackable way of going through and weighing yourself and actually seeing, for the example I pulled up a couple of days ago, my own weight here, you can actually see your weight and the trend of that weight and make changes depending on that. And obviously it gives a tool that you can then send to me that I can then look over, and we can discuss your weight loss or weight gain or anything else from there. So that is the efficient nutrition system. If you are interested in having a go at it yourself, then click on the link below. That will take you through to my contact page and my website. Fill in the sort of contact form, and that will send an email to me. I will then reply to you within 24 hours with the spreadsheet, with a how-to, and with some advice on how to use it. And then you get an opportunity to have a go yourself, and obviously ask me as many questions as you need to have to go through it. The plan is in the future to have a particular website that is going to be running this. It will be an accountability section where people can come to, and it's a hub to actually run this system and to run the training system from. But until that time, this is the way that we're going to do it, guys. So if you're interested, click on the link, give me an email, I'll send you the details, I'll send you the spreadsheet, I'll send you the whole diet for free. It's not a diet, it's a system, as I say, but I'll send you that for free so you can have a go yourself and then give me some feedback and then speak to me about it, and we can take it forward from there, guys, okay? Hope you enjoyed the video. As I say, not so much information today, just an explanation about what we do here at UP Performance and giving you a brief introduction into the efficient nutrition system. Have a great week, guys. Just be awesome. I'll catch you later.